How did that feel?
Wonderful.
Welcome to MsMojo, and today we're looking at some of our favorite romantic pairings from non-animated Disney movies.
Congratulations, Wildcat!
Oh, what about your team?
We won too!
Yep.
Number 20. George and Ursula, George of the Jungle.
Ursula Stanhope? Who are you?
George Primate.
Tarzan and Jane may be the original king and queen of the jungle, but in the 90s they had some real competition. George of the Jungle first swung onto screens in a 1960s animated series with a super catchy theme song.
George of the jungle lives a life that's free. Watch out for that tree.
3 decades later, the character was resurrected by Disney as the star of an irreverent comedy movie. A send-up of the Tarzan character, George is raised by apes. However, when he meets Ursula Stanhope, he gains a newfound interest in the human world. Brendan Fraser is perfectly cast as the lovable George, and Leslie Mann charms as the object of his affections.
I love you
Ursula loved George?
so much.
George loved Ursula too.
It might not be a serious film, but this couple is seriously sweet. Number 19. Miley and Travis, Hannah Montana the Movie. In the seminal Disney Channel series Hannah Montana, Miley Cyrus found herself torn between 2 serious love interests. But whether you were Team Jesse or Team Jake, Travis Brody was arguably the best of the bunch, played by the perfectly cast Lucas Till.
You think she'd go out with me if I asked?
You want to go out with Miley?
Oh no, you'd be a real prize, don't get me wrong, but Miley, I can't help but smile when I'm around her.
The Hannah Montana film removed Miley from her day-to-day sitcom shenanigans and slowed things down a little. With the new setting came a new romantic prospect, and Travis understood the assignment. Unimpressed by stardom, but supportive of her hopes and dreams, this laid-back farm boy was just what Miley needed. Plus, you can't go wrong with a falling in love montage. Number 18. Prince Caspian and Susan, The Chronicles of Narnia, Prince Caspian. In the C.S. Lewis book this film is based on, Prince Caspian and Susan Pevensey barely interact. However, we can't help but love the addition of this romantic subplot in the movie.
Maybe it is time you had this back.
Why don't you hold on to it? You might need to call me again.
The adaptation makes the most of Susan's famed archery skills and brings her back into the action. This allows for more time with Caspian, and the attraction between them is there from the beginning. Their romance plays out in a handful of moments and doesn't take anything away from the main story. But they still make a great couple, and their chemistry is undeniable.
I wish we had more time together.
We'd never have worked anyway.
Why not?
I am 1,300 years older than you.
Number 17. Mal and Ben, Descendants franchise.
We get to choose who we're gonna be. And right now, I can look into your eyes and I can tell you're not evil.
They say opposites attract, but Maleficent's daughter and the son of Belle and The Beast? That's one Disney crossover we didn't see coming. When we first meet Mal, she's ruthless, manipulative, and striving to prove herself to her villainous mother. But we know that deep down, she's conflicted. Ben helps bring out her softer side, revealing the compassionate young woman Mal has the potential to become. Their story does begin with a love potion, which is fairly problematic. However, once Ben is freed from the spell, it doesn't take long for real feelings to blossom. The duo fast become the it couple of Auradon.
I never thought that it could happen to a guy like me, but now look at what you've done, you got me down on my knees.
Number 16. Kate and Sam, Holes.
I'll fix that roof in exchange for 3 jars of your spice peaches.
It's a deal.
This Disney adaptation of the Lewis Sacker novel follows Stanley Yelnats, a good kid sent to a camp for bad boys. The plot is full of twists and turns, and Shia LaBeouf's Stanley is a likable lead. However, it's the doomed love story between Catherine "Kiss and Kate" Barlow and Sam that lingers longest in our memories.
But we loved
with a love that was more than love. I and my Annabelle Lee.
In a series of flashbacks, we learn how the former schoolteacher's romance with the local onion seller led her to a life of crime. Scenes from the early days of their relationship are tender and heart-wrenching, because we know that it can't last forever. Torn apart by prejudice, their story ends in tragedy. Number 15. Miss Eglantine Price and Mr. Emelius Brown, Bedknobs and Broomsticks. Disney romance is usually all about young people, so it's nice to see a middle-aged couple as the focus of a love story. Miss Price is a trainee witch who's been taking a course in magic from a mysterious London professor. Emelius Brown turns out to be a scam artist and a hack, but he's thrilled to meet a student with a genuine gift.
If I've been any sort of help to you, I'm pleased.
You've been immensely kind. Thank you.
I've enjoyed being with you.
Despite their characters' contrasting personalities, Angela Lansbury and David Tomlinson make a delightful team. They fight Nazis, dance under the sea, and become stand-in parents to 3 lonely refugees. They're both reluctant to commit, but it's clear that they're meant to be together.
No, Paul. I realized some time ago that I could never be a proper witch.
When was that? Was it that first magic moment when you laid eyes on me?
Number 14. Cinderella and Prince Christopher, Cinderella.
What did you say your name was?
Cinderella?
Cinderella. I like it.
Everyone has their favorite version of this classic story. For many 90s kids, Brandy Norwood remains the definitive Cinderella. As the heroine of this made-for-TV movie, Brandy became the first black actor to portray the iconic character on screen. She starred opposite Filipino-American actor Paolo Montalban as Prince Christopher. The two first meet in the marketplace, where the prince is disguised as a commoner. The spark is there from the start, and it's clear that Christopher and Cinderella are a perfect match. With the help of some beautiful Rodgers and Hammerstein duets, this charming duo made us believe in love.
Are you really as wonderful as you seem?
Number 13. Queen Clarice and Joe, the Princess Diaries franchise.
You've been wearing black too long.
Whether you're a Michael Moskowitz fan or you're partial to Chris Pine's Lord Devereaux, there's one Princess Diaries couple everyone can get behind. Queen Clarice and Joe, the security chief, weren't originally intended to be endgame. However, Julie Andrews and Hector Elizondo got on so well that the relationship between their characters was enriched. Queen Clarice is quite different from her counterpart in the novels, and Joe isn't in the books at all, but we love them nonetheless.
Well, I thought you'd never ask. Shades, you're in charge now. Good luck with Lionel. I'm going to a wedding.
Their on-screen chemistry and covert romance help round out both characters, and it's obvious that the actors were having loads of fun. Number 12. Nick Parker and Elizabeth James, The Parent Trap. A reimagining of the 1961 classic, the Nancy Meyers take on The Parent Trap has something for everyone. For the kids, there's Hallie and Annie's fun-filled journey from sparring siblings to partners in crime. For the adults, it's all about the romance. Strange parental decisions aside, both Nick and Elizabeth are likable characters.
Lizzie's fine. My dad still calls me Lizzie. Yeah, I've been terrific.
You know, you haven't changed a bit.
In the original movie, we had our doubts about whether Mitch and Maggie were made for each other, despite their chemistry. But the remake builds on the parents' relationship and convinces us that they should give their marriage a second chance. Natasha Richardson and Dennis Quaid are luminous together, and the ending is genuinely swoon-worthy.
Come on, Nick, what do you expect? To live happily ever after?
Yes. To all the above. Except you don't have to cry hysterically.
Number 11. Ariel and Prince Eric, The Little Mermaid.
Kiss the girl, sha-la-la-la-la, the music play. Do what the music say, you gotta kiss the girl.
Although they barely hold a conversation for most of the film, this couple has a connection built on more than just love at first sight. Even in the animated version, it's Ariel's quirky and adventurous personality that charms Eric, not just her looks. In the live-action remake, we're shown that they share a love of learning and a curiosity about the world around them. Plus, they have so much fun together. They may not be able to express their feelings in words, but Halle Bailey and Jonah Hauer-King make it easy to believe the two are crazy about each other.
We still have cause to celebrate. Our worlds have misunderstood one another for far too long. Your marriage marks a new beginning for us.
Number 10. Jessie Tuck and Winnie Foster, Tuck Everlasting.
Well, go on now, get.
Excuse me, but I own these woods, and I'll go on and get when I want to.
Winnie is the prim and proper daughter of a wealthy and powerful family. Jessie is a wild and untamed free spirit. But it's probably easy to be such a free spirit when you're immortal. When Winnie discovers the secret spring that turned the Tucks immortal, she and Jessie are intertwined forever.
Jessie, don't let go!
It's okay, it's okay. There's no chance of that, Winnie Foster. I'm never gonna let you go.
She keeps their secret, even at the risk of her own life. Coming from such different walks of life, they changed each other's views of the world. And though they don't last forever, what they have together is a beautiful moment in time.
Winnie Foster! I will love you until the day I die!
Number 9. Roger Dearly and Anita Campbell Green Dearly, 101 Dalmatians.
Do you want another cup of marriage?
Excuse me?
Tea? Another cup of tea?
Said marriage.
They were awfully cute on their own, but then throw in the fact that they're raising 101 dogs together and it's just overwhelmingly adorable. Their first time meeting is the definition of a meet-cute. Roger falls into a park pond, and Anita must help him when their two dogs show an affinity for each other.
The only part of my body that wasn't injured was my head. But now, thanks to you, I've got the complete set of bodily injuries.
Inevitably, both couples fall madly in love. Watching this dynamic duo help Pongo and Perdita keep their puppies safe from the evil Cruella de Vil will make you audibly awe.
Cruella, the puppies are not for sale. You're quite sure?
Yes.
Number 8. Anna and Jake, Freaky Friday.
Excuse me. Is this yours?
Thanks.
Though he does have that momentary lapse in judgment when he's crushing on Anna when she looks like her mom, Jake was pretty perfect for the real Anna.
I don't know what's going on here, okay? I don't know what this whole thing is, all right? I feel like I know you.
I have to go. Really,
Please. Just please. Let me at least give you a ride.
He was a bit older, but respected Anna's mom's set limitations. And though Anna was younger, she was mature, even more so than her mother at times.
Do you know him?
Kinda. That's Jake.
No. No.
You gotta give him a chance.
That is the last thing I'm going to give him. Just look at him.
They liked all the same music, and he loved and supported her band. Even Tess had to admit they were great for each other.
Go. Go.
Hi.
Number 7. Belle and the Beast, Beauty and the Beast.
You took his place.
He's my father.
Admittedly, the way they met is obviously not great. He was holding her captive indefinitely because her father stole a rose from his garden. Not exactly your picture-perfect romantic meet-cute. However, the way they fell in love, that is pretty magical. There are multiple songs dedicated to showing how Belle and the Beast brought out the best in each other and discovered things in each other that weren't there before.
There's something sweet and almost kind, but he was mean and he was coarse and unrefined.
More than that, they are the personification of the ideal that beauty is only skin deep.
Both a little scared, neither one prepared. Beauty and the Beast.
Number 6. Aladdin and Jasmine, Aladdin.
I thought a princess could go anywhere.
Not this princess.
This live-action adaptation of Disney's award-winning 1992 animated flick follows the titular street rat who falls in love with a princess.
I want to thank you for stopping that man.
Forget it.
When Aladdin first meets Jasmine, she tells him she's the princess's handmaiden. But he soon discovers the truth, obtains a magic lamp that houses a genie, and uses his 3 wishes to ultimately marry the woman of his dreams.
Hey, can you make me a prince?
There is a lot of gray area in Make Me a Prince. I could just make you a prince.
Oh, no.
Right, you'll be snuggled up with that dude for the rest of your life.
Y'all see my palace?
Okay, so the tale told in the live-action film is quite similar to the animated musical fantasy. However, the reason Aladdin and Jasmine's relationship makes this list is not only is he a lot more supportive of her political aspirations, but also they work together more as a team, which shows great potential for their life together after the credits roll.
Do you trust me?
Yes.
Number 5, Cinderella and Prince Kit, Cinderella.
You shouldn't be this deep in the forest alone.
I'm not alone, I'm with you. Mr. What do they call you?
You don't know who I am. That is, they call me Kit.
Like several of the entries on this list, this couple originated from an animated Disney movie, but their live-action reimagining developed their relationship more deeply. In the more modern incarnation of Cinderella, Prince Kit is a true Prince Charming, and Cinderella is much less a damsel in distress. In this one, they actually meet before the ball ever happens, and start falling for each other without the need for any magic or bibbidi-bobbidi-boo.
I hope to see you again, miss.
And are you?
Though not seen by their society as equals in status, they see each other as equals, which is way more important.
Will you take me as I am? An honest country girl who loves you.
Of course I will. But only if you will take me as I am. An apprentice still learning his trade.
Number 4, Mia Thermopolis and Nicholas Devereaux, The Princess Diaries 2, Royal Engagement. Michael saw her when she was invisible, but Nicholas is Mia's first love. They start as enemies, then become friends, and then the attraction between them becomes too much to bear.
I loathe you.
I loathed you first.
As her coronation approaches, Mia is required to marry to be queen, so she's arranged to marry Andrew, but Nicholas is who she really loves. Too bad he's out to steal her throne.
But it was also a lie, because you didn't tell me who you were and that you were trying to steal my crown.
Please pardon me. I just had a momentary lapse of good manners. You see, usually when I ask a woman to dance, I always show her my family tree.
Oh, well, aren't you just crafty?
That is, until he falls for her, too. He gives up his shot at the throne for her, and doesn't make her choose between the throne and love. Naturally, Mia takes the throne sans husband like a boss, and gets Nicholas in the end anyway, making the two Genovia's power couple.
And I am inquiring if she loves me too.
Do you have a chicken for my table?
No, no, my kitchen is out of chickens.
Oh.
Number 3, Troy Bolton and Gabriella Montez, High School Musical franchise.
We're breaking free.
Whether you loved or hated these movies, there is no denying that Troy and Gabriella were a great couple. They had their problems, like any couple. Troy was occasionally selfish, but they always supported each other, always trusted each other, and had a surprisingly mature relationship for two young people.
Suddenly seems like the rest of the school year is coming at us so fast.
I wish it would all just stop. At least just slow down.
In the third movie, the cliche thing might have been for Gabriella to follow Troy to school, but that was not even in question. They always knew she would go to her school and he would go to his, and they would just work it out.
But most of all, I choose the person who inspires my heart.
Oh, and their duets were on point. Number 2, Will Turner and Elizabeth Swann, Pirates of the Caribbean franchise. From the moment we first saw them meet as kids in the first Pirates movie, Will and Elizabeth were clearly meant to be.
It's okay. My name's Elizabeth Swann.
Will Turner.
I'm watching over you, Will.
One of the best things about this couple is that we got to see them grow over the course of the franchise. They're fun, adventurous, always fight for each other, and are a clever play on the damsel in distress trope.
This is the path you've chosen, is it? After all, here's a blacksmith.
No. He's a pirate.
For as many times as Will saved Elizabeth, she saved him too. And they had a super badass wedding in the midst of one of many battles to the death.
I've made my choice. What's yours?
Before we unveil our top pick, here are a few honorable mentions. Lizzie and Gordo, the Lizzie McGuire movie. The longtime friends finally got their romantic moment.
Gordo?
What? Thanks.
Laurie McGregor and Andrew McDouey, The 3 Lives of Thomasina. Romance blossoms between the village vet and the Witch of the Glen.
I'm glad you told me of yourself. And I told you.
I'm glad too.
Genie and Dahlia. Aladdin. Genie meets his match in the live-action remake.
If she'll have me.
When do we leave? Also, I want children.
Yes, 2 of them.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications. Number 1. Giselle and Robert Phillip, Enchanted. Part of what makes this couple so great is that, along with swelling our hearts as we watch them fall in love, they also poke fun at animated Disney couples.
How does she know you love her?
Oh, no, don't.
How does she know
People looking.
she's yours?
Don't sing. It's okay. You know, let's just walk. Can we walk? Okay.
Well, does she?
Yeah.
How does she know that you love her?
Oh!
He knows the song too?
But unlike most Disney couples, in this one, it is the princess who saves her prince. Giselle is a fairy tale character who falls into the real world, which, according to Robert, is a world where happy endings don't exist.
You were in love.
Yeah. That was the problem.
How could that be a problem?
Because love, you know, the lovey-dovey version that you talk about, it's fantasy.
But through her optimistic songs, she reminds him of the magic of the real world, and they live happily ever after.
Is this a habit of yours? Falling off of stuff?
Only when you're around to catch me.
Which Disney romances are your couple goals? Let us know in those comments.
Yes, my dear. I would kneel if it weren't for my knee replacement.
Do you agree with our picks? Check out this other recent clip from MsMojo. And be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.